stone vet. I hit the ground running when I'm invading your country. Instill with honor and discipline. Throw my guns like onyx, dressed in camo with ammo for ever since.
What's up, guys? Sergeant G here from the STONED VET USMC. Happy Friday, guys. I'm glad you guys are here with me, enjoying this wonderful weekend, dude. Getting ready for the weekend. It's getting cold. It's getting cold as crap outside now. The weather has turned. I think fall ditched us and winter came along and smacked us in the face here in Oklahoma, at least. Here where I'm at in Oklahoma, it gets pretty cold here, man. A lot of people don't understand that. I said, we south, but we ain't that far south. We're not like the people down in San Antonio, Houston, Edinburgh area, you know. And so the weather's turning. It's got a lot colder now. I got my hoodie. Guess what? I got a new hoodie coming out before too long. You guys need to go check it out. I'm working with my designer right now, making sure that you guys can get top quality garments, dude. I don't want you guys to spend a lot of money on garbage, right? Because a lot of people you go out to buy some stuff, and when you get it, it's garbage. Quality's just garbage. You know what I'm saying? But I got some awesome designs coming out with the new hoodies, new hoodie design and whatnot, dude. Be on the lookout for that. I'm super excited, dude. Like I tell you guys, this is my counseling session. I get to do this at least once a week, sometimes more, sometimes less. But for me, it's instead of paying $100 on a counselor, I get to spend time with my brother or my sister here to enjoy my time together, because we all know we're fucked up. I mean, that's just something we deal with on a regular basis. The government screwed us. We deployed multiple times, and we deal with stuff that we hate dealing with on a regular basis. So it sucks. It sucks for us, you know. And so, like I tell you guys, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Share the crap out of this. In order for me to get bigger than Joe Rogan, I need you guys to come out here and share this product. Share my product. Share the stories that I bring you guys on a weekly basis, letting you figure out who our brothers is. I bet you guys never would have met any of the people I brought on if it wasn't for me being able to bring them on the show and discuss what they're doing now in our community. So get over there, hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Make sure you guys share this with your brothers and your sisters. Share it with people you think it might be beneficial to, man. I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsor, Rafa 180. Like I tell you guys every episode, Rafa 180 provides you the best medicinal grade CBD on the market, 100% THC free. For you guys that are like me, that are still drug testing twice a month, go check out their products, man. If you're dealing with anxiety, depression, aches and pains, get over there and get some of that balm and get some of that tincture. When you start taking both of them together, now you're treating the problem. You're not just covering it up with, like you do with the aspirin and all the pharmaceuticals the VA continue pounding down our throats. Get over there. When you check out with the STONED VET USMC, get 15% off your entire purchase. That's a pretty good deal, man. You better get over there, get some products on there, start investing in yourself, investing in your body. This stuff it's not too expensive, dude. It gets out there, but there's some stuff out there, dude, you'll spend an arm and a leg just to get it because they say it's good medicine for you. I know I have. I've been doing it. It sucks. And I told myself I ain't spending that much money on it no more. I'm going to go back to my CBD products, man. But go check out Rafa180.com. Go check out their Facebook page, Rafa180, and their website, Rafa180.com, man. Don't forget to check out the STONED VET USMC to get 15% off your entire purchase, man. I'm super excited, man. This Friday, I'm able to bring on an Army Ranger, guys. You guys know how much you guys love them Army Rangers with their tabs and their scrolls and all the happy jazz that they get, man. What's going on, Pearce? How you doing this Friday?
I'm good. Appreciate you bringing me on. It's
absolutely, brother. I'm glad you're here. You're out of California, right?
California, beautiful Manhattan Beach.
Manhattan, he on the beach, dude, enjoying the weather. It ain't getting too cold for him. He probably could still go jump in the water if he wanted to right now.
Oh, I'm going this afternoon. You know I'll be out there.
Absolutely. I can't deal with California, dude. All them Californians, dude. You guys got some crazy people out there.
We do. A lot of crazy people, a lot of good people, a lot of people in general. But
right? No, absolutely.
Yeah, it's nice out here, man. I can't complain. Life is good.
Absolutely. You guys know how I feel about you Army guys. You guys watching the show on a regular basis know how I love these Army guys, man. I mean, like I said, I teamed up with Veteran Trash Talk every Wednesday to provide you a wonderful episode. And you know how I love Nick and Dave and Joe and Beckwith and all them guys over there. They're all airborne. They're all airborne guys. I think some of them are Rangers. I'm not sure. They're crazy. They're crazy Army guys, dude, just like any other branch in the military. Army and Marine Corps, we guys already know that these are the two best branches out of all services. We already know that. You know what I'm saying? Army because they're so damn big. And then the Marine Corps, need I say more? You guys already understand why. So yeah, Pearce here, man. Pearce a Ranger, man. This guy this guy went above and beyond, but he's fresh, dude. He's a shower shoe. He just got out of service. He just got out, not maybe a year and a half ago. He's still trying to figure out, the fuck do I do now, dude? And this is what I love about doing this, because you guys understand what it was like when it's time to get out of service. You're like, I ain't got shit. I ain't got nobody telling me what to do, how to do it, when to do it, what to do anymore. And I think that's one of the biggest struggles we have serving active duty, is that somebody's always telling us what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and what the uniform of the day is, right? And Pearce understands it, right?
Oh yeah. I understand that daily struggle, or not a struggle. They made it easy, right? The job was relatively simple, laid out, straightforward. What you had to do, the paths and the tracks and your future was kind of laid out for you too. And then you get out and life's an open slate. And how do you deal with that completely open slate and all the options and choices and decisions? And some people do it well, and some people get themselves into a ton of trouble. And so, yeah, we're hopefully here to help guide other people. As you said, I'm relatively fresh, don't have it all figured out, but have gone through a few cycles of interesting times since leaving, and the goal really is to be able to help everybody out.
Absolutely, brother. Well, with the wonderful audience that I have, the thousands of followers that I got watching me, that are listening on the show and actually get in there and actually spend time with us on this Friday, why don't you tell them a little bit about your story, about when you joined the Army and why you joined the Army?
Yeah, so from the Northeast, and was kind of toying with what do I do post high school. Got lucky, sort of got a scholarship, played rugby in college at Loyal out in California. I think that was the right decision. It gave me a little extra time to mature, develop, think about my decisions and everything. So I went to college, and then after that kind of came to my first point in my life where it's like, okay, what do I do next? I got this open space. I really wanted to do some sort of service, wanted to figure out who I was, wanted to be on a team of high-performing individuals. And the conventional military never really caught my interest until I started learning about Rangers, SEALs, Green Berets, MARSOC, a mix between a ninja and James Bond, jumping out of a black helicopter in the middle of the night and going after the bad guys. And then it clicked. It was like, boom, that's it. That's my path. So I did a ton of research. I talked to everybody I could. I researched every special operations unit in the military and in the agencies and everything, and kind of came to the conclusion of, all right, what do I want to do as my job when I'm there? And that was direct action raids. I wanted to be first one in the door.
Badass.
I wanted to be the tip of the spear. So
right.
After the research and talking to people, it sounded like 75th Ranger Regiment was the way to go. Trained by myself in my backyard for it. And then about, 6 months or so after college, enlisted with an option 40 contract, which is basically guarantees you a slot at Ranger assessment and selection as long as you pass the prerequisites.
Right. Oh shit! Look at this. He wanted to be a badass. Did you guys hear that? He went to college, and college made him think about what he wanted to do in life. Like a lot of us, man. Like me, I didn't go to college. I was 17 when I joined the freaking Marine Corps. I was just like, I got to get out of where the hell I'm at. This guy had an opportunity to go to college on rugby. I mean, that's a tough sport, dude. I've watched rugby. You was already a badass, dude. Is what you're saying.
Yeah, no, rugby is an awesome sport. Definitely helped me out with some of the military stuff.
No, absolutely.
But yeah, I went to college and realized I didn't want to do college things after it. So.
He's like, did you finish out your degree? You just said, "Fuck, I'm joining the Army. I'm done with this. I don't want to do this."
I finished it out. I think it's kind of like this domestication process a lot of us get into, like, what's the track? You go to high school, and then, okay, if you can, you go to college, and you finish college, and then you figure it out after that. Right. So I somehow, snuck my way through and graduated and got a degree. Almost didn't get a degree. Funny story. I had a single credit left at the end, and I had an internship, which basically means they give you 1 credit to go work with some company. Right. I did that. A couple months after I graduated college, I do the walk, I do everything. And I call my buddies and go, "Did you get a diploma?" And they're like, yeah, dude, months ago. So I hit up the school. I found out that I never graduated because the professor that was in charge of that single credit died hiking in Arizona before I graduated, never put it in. So I had to go through this whole fiasco, and then eventually I graduated college.
There you go. So did you graduate before you joined the Army or while you was in the Army?
Yeah, no, I graduated before I joined the Army.
So you didn't want to go OCS? You didn't want to become an officer? You wanted to be enlisted?
Hell no. Everybody asks me that, right? And I don't know if there's anybody who's looking to join the military, who's any of your listeners and followers. It is not necessarily like one over the other. It is two completely separate career paths.
Right,
I mean, maybe it's different in other units, but in my unit, they're two separate jobs, and you can be a leader in one, and you can be a leader in the other, and you have to decide which one's right for you. So I wanted to be the guy doing the action.
He wanted to be the action. He didn't want to give the order. He wanted to be doing the order is what he's saying.
Yeah,
and he's absolutely right. You guys understand. A lot of us that listen to the show are a bunch of enlisted guys that are trying to figure out what the hell we do with our life. I've got a couple of offices. I've had Travis Johnson, the creator of Nonprofit Architect podcast. He's an officer in the Navy. He went enlisted and became an officer. And he tell you, I mean, that's two different, like you said, it's two different lifestyles. It's two different, what do we do now type things, you know? And
yeah, it's two different worlds.
It's two different worlds, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? You're either giving the order or you're taking the order. And depending on like the way you was talking, you're like, I want to take the order. I want to raid houses. I want to get in there and kick doors in and start shooting people type thing.
Yeah.
Know?
And what was cool though, I didn't feel like I was, fully taking the order. It was, the officer brings the intent for the mission, and it's okay, NCO, come up with your plan, figure out how you're going to execute it. And now it's on you.
Right.
Now you're running the show.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So Pearce didn't spend too long in the Army though. I guess after 5 years, he said, I'm done. I ain't doing this no more. I got my adrenaline rush. I'm good now. I don't want to do this no more. Right. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a couple things. One, I saw all of the combat winding down. Yeah. And especially over the last year with the pulling out of Afghanistan, it was really winding down, right? So I got kind of lucky in my trajectory, was able to deploy to combat zones, Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan. And then, things really started calming down. We were kind of the last people doing any sort of combat missions during that time period. And I kind of looked and said, there's two tracks here. One, I putting a ton of strain on family and future and all this. I kind of was promoting myself out of the job that I wanted, which happens. I went there for the experience, not a career. I wanted to be that tip of the spear. And I saw, okay, what would happen to me if I keep going?
Right.
You start pulling back and being more in an office, more managerial, things like that. So there were other options as well. And a lot of the stuff I miss about the military, some I don't. But yeah.
No, everybody understands that. That's what a lot of people ask me. They're like, you missed the Corps? And I'm like, I don't miss the Corps. I miss my brothers and my sisters that I got to bullshit with on a regular basis. That's what I miss. I don't miss. Yeah. It's like they say, I don't miss the circus. I miss the clowns. I miss those guys.
I like that.
Because we're always there. Because like I said, in the Army's the same way as the Marine Corps. I mean, that's what I tell people. I said, I'm surprised they haven't got rid of the Marine Corps yet, because everything the Marine Corps can do, the Army does. You know what I'm saying? They can do everything we can do, Yeah. And so, I mean, there's been decades that they've tried to get rid of the Marine Corps, but a lot of people, they don't understand that the Marine Corps, we in 36 hours, we can pack up and be gone in the country in 36 hours. Any country you tell us to be in, we can pack up quick and be there with the QRF and be ready to go, And so, that's what they understand. I say, you break the glass, Marines are there. We're ready. Let's go. We got to go. What we got to do type thing, I mean, I'm not downing you as a Ranger. We understand you guys do stupid shit too. You guys can get linked up and ready to go too. We understand that. But I mean, that's one of the biggest things is that I don't miss the Corps. I don't. I mean, the stupidity and the politics that are in it, behind it. I mean, I'm sure the Army's the same way. There's a lot of stupid politics behind it, a lot of this and that, And it sucks. I don't miss that. But I miss having my brothers to my left and to my right every day. Like, they're always there. Regardless if we're fighting or not, we're always together. We're always with each other. We could hate you one day, and the next day we're going to have beers with you and just bullshitting about the day, you know? And that's just the way it was. And that's one of the biggest struggles we have. That's why I try to do this show to where it feels as though we're still there. We're still with you. We're just sitting around. We just bullshit. We're just enjoying the time together because, like I said, we miss each other. That camaraderie is lost. When we get out of service, that camaraderie is lost. I mean, you being brand new, you're feeling it a lot more. Like, fuck, dude, like, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm here. I don't hang out with anybody anymore. Everybody has their job. I mean, when you get out of service, you try to find a job, and guess what? If you married and you got kids, then now that's your priority. You're making sure that they're taken care of. You don't have to worry about your lower ranked your lower ranked employees, your soldiers. You don't have to worry about them and make sure that they're taken care of, that they got all the needs they have. Now you have to make sure your family's taken care of, you know? And like I tell people, I say, it's a struggle. Sometimes it is. It's hard to make sure we pick up the phone and call somebody, make sure they're doing okay, see how they're doing, checking out and enjoying, you know, making sure they're doing okay. Because like I said, everybody understands we lose 22 veterans a day, you know, but nobody ever talks about the 35 plus that we lose to opioid addiction. And that's a big struggle. A lot of people don't understand that. And so if we're losing 35 to opioid addiction plus a 22 a day to PTSD, PTS and everything else, I mean, that's 37 individuals that we're losing. We're sitting here shooting a show, bullshitting with each other, me and Pearce, and we're losing somebody right now as we shoot this show because they couldn't take it no more. It was too much for them. They said, I don't want to do it anymore. Life's too hard. I don't want to do this anymore, you know? And it's a struggle, you know? And I mean, with you, Pearce, I mean, like I said, you brand new. You just got out in 2020, right? It's only 2021 now. And how is that? How was that transition for you when you so obviously you were Ranger, so you got to deploy to the wonderful desert and the mountains and everything else. Is that right?
Oh yeah, all the good stuff. And yeah, I basically went from combat missions in Afghanistan to, like, you know, have a month to get rid of all your gear and get out of the Army. So there was not much transition at all. It was like combat. Okay, you're free. And yeah, they don't do, it was like no process. It's, you know, you come back the second they know that you're getting out, you know, somebody replaces your job. You sign a bunch of papers, say, you know, you can't talk about anything, blah, 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 blah. See you later. Right. And then you're out. And, I've now talked to a ton of vets. I have a good crew out here in Los Angeles too. That's really helped me out in sort of the special ops vet community. And everybody that I know has gone through some sort of like dark period. No matter how well set up they were post-military, they've had that, oh shit moment. I need to fix things. For me, I think I was somewhat lucky in that was accelerated strictly because I went straight into COVID madness. Right. So I didn't have, right when I got out, there was a little period of distraction, and I'm seeing people again. I'm doing things, and then it's like, boom, lockdown. Okay, now I'm in my apartment by myself, and now I'm seeing the real effects of this. You were talking about the community, right? Community and acceptance from a tribe is a survival need. And when you're in the military, you may not recognize it, but when you lose that, and then you're forced to be by yourself, that's when the difficulties come. I realized I had never been by myself. I left my parents' house. I went to college. I basically lived in a frat house. Then I went to the Army, and it was a bigger frat house, right? 24/7. You're literally never alone, ever.
Right, ever.
Right? And so, yeah, that was kind of the oh shit moments, some self-destructive behaviors, some, you know, things going on, and realized that I had to turn things around. Luckily, I had a couple guys who had gone before me help pave the way a little bit, doing so much better now and trying to help as many people as I can do the same thing.
Absolutely. That is a struggle. You know, even my wife tells me, she's like, you need to be alone with your thoughts. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need to be alone with my thoughts. I try to put them in a box and stick them as far back on the shelf as I can get them so they don't fall off the shelf. Yeah. That's not one thing. That's not one thing I want to deal with. I don't want to be by myself. People enjoy being by themselves. People enjoy thinking and being with their thoughts. And a lot of those people have gone through a lot of spiritual healing stuff. They've been doing a lot of spiritual healing and a lot of things to help them. And I'm like, no. I said, I've done a lot of stupid shit, and I don't want to fucking remember any of the stupid shit I've done. Like, I don't.
That can be part of the issue, though, is suppressing.
Right.
Because it never goes away.
Right.
Maybe some of it's stupid shit. Maybe some of it's not. Maybe it's some stuff from childhood, whatever you're trying to escape. If you don't process information, it never goes away, and it just chases you, and you continually have to escape. Right. And that's where opioid addiction and alcohol addiction comes in for a lot of people. So yeah, I practice being by myself, like specifically train being by myself, just like it's a workout every single day.
See, and that shit's crazy. But I mean, for what you're doing now, I mean, like when you said when you got out, I think that's a lot of people, a lot of our service members. So right now, I think they're averaging about 200,000 service members get out of active duty service every year. 200,000. That's a shit ton, right? That's a lot. That's a lot of people getting out of active duty service every year. But I think that's one of the biggest struggles is that there is no transition. Like when you go into the military, you got to figure you go to boot camp. Boot camp is 12, 13 weeks, whatever the case may be. And then you go to your MOS school, whatever your MOS school, which can be anywhere from 90 to a year, 90 days to 100 to a year, you know what I'm saying, to 365 days, whatever. And so during that time, and then you go in the fleet to be part of the service member, whatever branch you're in, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, fucking Coast Guard, whatever branch you join, then you go into the fleet and you're there for another 3, 4, 5 years. But when it's time to transition out, they don't provide you a class to say, hey, you're getting out of service. We need to get you ready for the civilian sector and get you so you know what to do when you get out, A lot of times, like you said, they just boot your ass out and say, all right, good. That's what I tell people. I said, the military will always have somebody to replace what you do. Your job can be replaced. Somebody can fill in your position when you leave. When you get out of service, somebody can fill your position. We'll find somebody to fill your position. It's always going to be filled, hands down. And so for that, like you said, you're like, I just had to get out. Like, I mean, that was it, right? Like, I was like, they didn't send me to class. They didn't teach me how to write a resume. They didn't teach me how to interview for positions or anything, And being military, private service military, a lot of us are like, I ain't working for anybody ever again. Like, I did that. I don't want to do that no more. I got to figure out myself and what to do. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't want to work for anybody ever again. I had tested the corporate life in college, hated it. One of my biggest issues with the military was the entire, chain of command and bureaucracy and everything. And I always thought, how incredible would it be if me and my team could just do this on our own rules, on our own time, and get the job done.
No, absolutely. Absolutely, sir. And you guys listening in, you guys understand the struggle. You guys that are watching the show, whether on YouTube or listening on whatever platform you're listening on, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listening at, you guys know, you guys understand that the struggle of getting out of service. A lot of us had a big struggle getting out. Like, what the hell do I do? I've been out since 2009, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? This is a wonderful opportunity. This is a hobby for me. Being able to do this podcast is a hobby. A lot of people are like, man, you are in it. Like, because they say the average podcaster only produces about 13 episodes and realize they don't want to do it anymore. I'm sitting over 100 episodes in now, and I've already got over 2,200 listeners. I got you guys listening in from around the world. It's not just in the U.S., but around the world, across the pond. I got people all over Australia, Great Britain, France, freaking everywhere. All you guys are listening in and coming over to understand the struggles that we have as serving our country here in America, and how awful the transition is for us when we get out of service. I mean, a lot of people have a struggle. Like you said, a lot of people have struggled trying to figure out, what do I do now? Me, I still work for the federal government. I hate it every day. And but I got 9 years till I can retire from that. And I'm like, I got to stay. I got 7 kids. I got a wife. I got stuff I got to pay. And so I was like, all right, I'll stay for the next 9 years, but I still can't draw retirement because I'm only going to be 47 with 30 years of federal service. You know what I'm saying? And they said, you can't draw retirement till at least 57. So that's another 10 years of trying to figure something out. I'm like, I got to get my own. I'm trying to get my own crap together. My wife wants to get in the real estate game, so we're going to try to get in the real estate and start doing some real estate and doing, because I mean it's profitable. Real estate is profitable if you know what you're doing. And so, but that's why I love bringing, like for you guys that are listening in, that's why I love bringing in guests that are doing things in our community, in our veteran community, because that's the biggest struggle we have is that there's no one website that tells you, okay, in your state, in this area, there are these resources. A lot of us don't know about the resources that are in our areas, you know. In Oklahoma, I know because I've done my research and I've reached out to many veterans in my community to see what kind of resources they are providing to us in Oklahoma, in the Oklahoma City metro area. But for you guys, if you guys are in Texas, Texas is massive. You guys know you got Houston, San Antonio, McAllen, freaking El Paso. Texas is massive, so there's a lot of communities in Texas, you know, or wherever you're at, Florida, California, New York, Maine, freaking Wisconsin, wherever you guys are at. Are you guys going out and researching your community to see what resources are out there? Like Travis Johnson said, there's approximately 22,000 veteran nonprofits in the U.S. 22,000. That's a lot. That's a lot of veteran nonprofits, you know. That's a lot. But are you aware of which ones are in your area? What kind of resources are they providing you? Like I said, it's getting cold. Are you guys able to pay your gas bill, your electric bill, whatever it is that keeps your house warm? If not, have you gone to check out and see what kind of services they're providing? Have you actually gone out to see, can you assist them in running their mission to help our veteran community in your area? Because, like I said, if you're not aware of the nonprofits in your area, how many other veterans don't know that they're there to help? I mean, that's the biggest struggle we have right now. I mean, marketing's expensive as hell. Pearce knows. Yeah. Marketing's expensive as shit, you know, and to get the word out of what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing, man. So Pearce here, he's gotten out now. He's gotten out, and so you stayed in California, is that right?
Yeah, stayed in California. Knew I wanted to come back here. Fiance was here. A lot of my friends were here, and everything I like to do was here, right, to keep me happy and healthy and enjoying the sunshine and surfing and mountain biking and ski flying and doing all the fun stuff. Came out, got into a job I didn't like, and realized I needed to start doing stuff on my own. So started to get into some performance psychology coaching with some college athletes. I was able to then do some of that with some NFL players as well. And really started to develop this system of, okay, how do I reverse engineer the things that provided so much success in the military back into the civilian world? And then how do I teach, other vets and first responders how to do the same thing to get their bodies healthy, their minds healthy, their lives in order, some clear direction. And so that's what I've been 100% focused on since then, since ditching the corporate job and going on my own.
That's freaking awesome, dude. And a lot of you guys know, like I said, a lot of you listeners know, you guys understand the struggles that we deal with on a regular basis. I mean, Pearce knows firsthand. I mean, he's a ranger, dude. Like he's seen shit, he's had to do shit in his life, and now he's learning how to deal with it, how to treat mental health. And you guys know I'm a huge advocate for medicinal cannabis and CBD to help with natural remedies that are out there, because you guys know, you and I know, the pharmaceuticals that the VA continues pounding down our throats. Like I tell them, I'm 100% disabled. I can go get any medication I want from the VA. I can say, I'm dealing with this. What do you got? I'm dealing with this. What do you got? And the VA will give it to you without any questions. And you guys know it. You guys know that go to the VA to get your medications. You guys know that the doctors there will give you whatever you want, regardless of what you suffer from, your TBIs, your PTS, your anxiety, depression, aches and pains, like we all suffer from.
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD and products made locally. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
Pearce, a lot of the guys that are listening in, that's one of the things we struggle with, is dealing with our choices that we made while serving, And so with your business, how did you get into what you're doing now?
Basically, I had to do this process for myself, right? So I had to figure out, okay, start analyzing me. Okay, what are the addictive behaviors? What are the self-destructive behaviors that I'm using to escape issues? right? Once you can recognize that, it's like, all right, how do I deconstruct them? Where do they come from? How do I understand that? How do I start? Where do they come from? What do I need to learn from them? And then how do I create a path going forward, right? So some of the things for me, I realized that I was using physical activity and high performance or high adrenaline activities as an escape, right? As a way to basically blind out my mind so I couldn't think anymore.
Right.
A lot of people use a lot of other things to do that. And even if it seems healthy, like for some people, it's exercise. That seems healthy on the outside, but if it's an escape from something on the inside, that's a problem. So a lot of it is dealing with that, processing that. I started to write. I started to journal, to take a lot of notes. I started to get into, specific remedies for my body to make sure, I spent so many months on, night shifts and no sleep and uppers and downers and, to try to keep yourself right. And so I had to learn to do that on my own, circadian rhythms and nutrition and sleep, and started formulating some things with different cannabinoids, and then using other plant medicines like psychedelics to help heal the brain and heal yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally. And so this opened up this entire can of worms. And this has sort of been my passion now, but I essentially just did it on myself and then started to teach other people, and realizing how many people truly need this, and how you're right. The way that the VA goes about treating things like, post-traumatic stress, TBI, anything is once again an escape. It's not helping anybody. I also learned that most of the issues that people deal with, it's not necessarily from service, right? For you, it was most likely from your childhood.
Yeah.
That created patterns, behaviors, beliefs that cycled through and created your actions and your kind of life path. So digging back and going deep for periods of time is really, really beneficial. And then, as I mentioned to you, plant medicine was kind of this, I could not believe how effective it was at assisting this process and assisting veterans. And luckily,
absolutely. I was reading an article not too long ago. And actually, Johnny Mo Medio actually explained it to me as well. Johnny Mo Medio owns Straight Talk podcast. He has his own podcast, another veteran, Air Force vet podcast. I'm sure you'd be a great guest on. He just loves bringing people on. Like I said, this is our counseling sessions. These are our counseling sessions that we put together to be able to just reminisce and just talking bullshit with each other and just see how everybody's doing, what you're doing, promoting what you're doing and stuff like that. But one of the things that we were talking about was the adrenaline rush, right? You being a ranger, I'm sure you got plenty of adrenaline rushes, being able to do things. And they talk about how that has affected us mentally and physically. Like, if we're one of those junkies that are constantly, our adrenaline is constantly running, like you had mentioned before, you're running, you're not doing good. It's actually hurting your brain, because you need that rush to constantly function, to be a high functioning civilian. You know what I'm saying? And so with you, what you've been studying, I mean, what do you think about the whole adrenaline rush thing that we?
It's really interesting. There's a theory in psychology. It's called the Polyvagal Theory, and you have. Let's see if I can describe this properly, even if people aren't.
You got to bring it down Barney style for us.
Let's say we have a graph with 3 sections. At the top is fight or flight. In the middle, we'll call social, which is like where normal people live. Like they can be happy, they can have energy. And then below that is depression. And I don't think of depression in like the clinical sense. Just think of like you're kind of shut off, just sitting on the couch, numbing yourself with Netflix or whatever, not talking to people, right?
Right.
The more that you live in that fight or flight or in that depressive state, the smaller the window in the middle gets. So what I realized with most of my guys and myself is that there is no middle ground anymore. It's either, pedal to the floor, 100 miles an hour, try to get as much adrenaline as you can to feel normal, or it's just shut off. Some guys sleep, some guys just drink, some guys numb with other things, and you don't learn how to find that middle ground. Like I had issues when I came back. I'd sit down to try to do some work in the middle of the day, and I'd be like falling asleep. And then I would need to get myself going again, get a little hit of energy, and then fall asleep again. And it messes with your head too.
Right.
And even if you look at neurochemicals in the brain, it's not good for the brain. Too much time in stress breaks apart neuron signals, and then your brain doesn't fire correctly again. So there's a lot of other things that can help rewire your brain. But one of them is if you are sort of addicted to that constant motion, that constant high intensity adrenaline, you need to balance it. The other side, right? So I decided, okay, a lot of the things that I really love to do, skydive, ride motorcycles, involve high adrenaline, and I don't want to give that up. So I know as a no-fail task, I have to do the opposite, which is balancing, which is meditation, breath work, yoga, whatever that is, right? Stillness practices to create balance. And that has been an absolute game changer for me.
And I hear about it. I got a brother named Chris Shire. You know, the jarhead. He's a big hippie dude. Like this dude, like you saw him, you think he's a freaking medicine man type guy. Like he's got the long hair, beard, and just real big into natural remedies. And that's one thing he introduced me to was breathworking, you know. And I was like, what the hell is this? He's like, dude, I'm telling you, this will calm your ass down and get your mind right if you just sit for like 2 or 3 minutes and do just breathworks. And I'm like, man, he's like, just sit in your truck and just do it before you go into work. And like he just talks about just the natural just breathing, because a lot of us we don't breathe right, and a lot of you guys don't think, oh, I'm breathing now. No, because you actually gotta fill your lungs up. Like even my wife will tell me, she's like, you gotta take deep breaths, like you gotta fill up your lungs and exhale it all out, and then, you know, and doing all the treatment that's with it, you know. And you, I mean, being what you're doing now, like you said, you're actually helping people get an understanding. Now you're helping NFL players. Like you said, you get big time now. You got NFL players coming to you looking for help, right?
Yeah, I got lucky in that with some good partners and connections. But back to the breath.
Yeah.
It's interesting how I said I was kind of reconstructing what I learned in the military. I started to do breathing research to figure out how I could get my team performing better under stress while shooting. So how do you calm the heart rate down? How do you calm the stress down? How do you get the body working better? I didn't even realize how well that could work for civilian life, right? And now it's such an incredible tool. It's basically the only automatic process in the body that we can take complete control over whenever we want.
No, absolutely. And a lot of you guys that are listening, like I said, I like to interact with you guys and talk to you guys about this kind of thing, because you guys are listening, taking time out of your day to listen to us and figure out, how the hell do I do it? How do I make it in this life, right? I mean, we have our struggles. Like you said, majority of us, we're either super high on the adrenaline or we super low in the depression area. We're always trying to figure out, how do we get in between? How do we interact? How do we make friends? How do we interact with people who have never done the shit that we've done? How do we interact with people who have never seen things that we've seen? We're never really in that social bubble that we would like to be in. Honestly, I would like to be in it. But my biggest struggle is talking with other people. Just people in general, not just veterans, because we already know when we're veterans, we talk to each other like it's nothing. Like we've been knowing each other forever when we're veterans. You know, we'll sit and talk all day. But whenever it comes to talking to people that have never joined the military, never served in the military, that's the struggle. It's like, how do I talk to you? I don't know how to talk to you. I don't know how to interact with you. And have you, Pearce, since you started your business, have you worked with veterans that struggle with that, interacting with normal people?
Yeah, I think everybody does. And I had that issue too. And what I came down to, what I realized was a lot of it was judgment and creating separation, right? We all like to think that we're very inclusive and all these things, but a lot of times our minds don't allow it. So I'll give you an example of how judgment in the past helped me, right? Judged every new guy that came to my team because I had to make sure that he was worthy and wouldn't put the team in jeopardy.
Right.
I would judge other people for their performance. When I was on the street in, faraway places on deployments, I had to judge everybody there because it kept me safe. It kept me and my team safe. So when I came back, I continued that without even thinking about it. So people that were good people that I could have had great relationships with, I was still subconsciously judging, creating separation. Okay, they haven't had the experiences that I had. They're not like me. But what's the reality? The The reality is what we did was just an experience. It is not necessarily the essence of who we are. It was just a story, right? So I had to drop that and learn how to relax and then just be me and talk to people, right? The fact that they weren't in the military does not make them any less anything. We just chose different paths. I happened to choose that path. And once I sort of got that idea in my head, it made socializing with normal people 100 times better. And I had to continuously I still have to practice this of awareness of, okay, are you pulling away? Or are you starting to feel separate? No, go towards it. This identity of veteran needs to be, if you live in it 100%, or of military, right? If you're like, this is who I am, well, when you get out, it's not who you are anymore. So now you're screwed if you can't figure it out, right? So I had to take Ranger and not get rid of it, put it to the side. Those skills, those people, those experiences will always be there, and I can always pull from them if I want to, but I can't live in that because I am no longer that, right? I no longer wear the uniform.
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, and that is a struggle. I mean, being a veteran, you guys that are listening that are veterans, I'm assuming a majority of you are veterans that have served this country. You guys understand that we put ourselves on that platform saying, well, I am the veteran. I am a veteran, and like you said, we don't need to hold those people that we're trying to interact with liable for their decisions to not join the military. Like my son, he's 16. He says he wants to join the Marine Corps. I said, no, you don't. The fuck you do? I mean, I don't want that for you, because could it be good for you? Yeah, of course. I mean, I think everybody should join the military so you get an understanding of why we're so passionate about our country, why we want to make sure our country is taken care of, But at the same time, I was like, I don't want you to deal with the crap that I've dealt with. Like I said, I spent 9 years in the Corps, and I seen shit, I did shit, and I regret a lot of the shit that I had to do, But I'm still the Marine. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows I still have that title, United States Marine. And that's one thing that we love about being the Marine Corps. That's what a lot of people say. I say, you Marines are always Marines. You guys never drop it. You guys are always on high alert. You're always high functioning. Let's see what we can do, what we can get into, and taking care of everything that's around us. That's just the way we are. That's just our mentality. And I tell my son, I don't want that for you. I said, I want you to start your own business. I want you to be an entrepreneur. I want you to figure out what people need and how you can provide that service to them. Because when you go to work for somebody like you, Pearce, when you go work for somebody, you're like, fuck this, dude, I don't want to work for you. I'm just making you rich. I ain't making me rich. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't understand that like have jobs are like, this sucks because I'm going to work for him because I'm making him money. And I get a paycheck, I get a paycheck, but I'm making him money. He's getting rich off of me, And it's a struggle, and like you're saying, well, what you're doing with the services that you're providing now, which is freaking amazing, dude. Like, that's one thing that we have to figure out. How do we get outside of our heads? Because that's our biggest struggle, is that we stay in our heads. We like I said, like you said, you're the high functioning or you're just low and depressed all the time. Like, there's no in between ground for that, And with your services you're providing, I mean, you're actually helping people now how to function. Is that right?
Yeah. Helping people function at their best, right? How do you maximize your potential? And a real big goal of mine has been how do I figure this out for veterans, right? A lot of it, there's difficulty with funding for certain types of treatments, and then there's coaching as well. So looking into, what's the best route to go for that, whether it's a fund or not, another nonprofit, right?
Another nonprofit, right?
But really, I'd love to just teach people how to do a lot of this on their own. And I'm coming up with some more group coaching platforms that'll be a lot easier for vets and first responders to get into. I get calls from firefighters and cops all the time too. A lot of it is very similar issues. And so a couple of them are like, how do you start into this process of personal development? And then what can you use to go deeper? What can you use to fix your brain, help fix your mind? It's like a lot of the things you talk about work really well. And so I'll be continually developing that process in the hopes of not having such a transition issue with vets. There's so many people that want to help, right? But getting you the job, getting you a house, getting you school is missing this window that is so important of transitioning the person and their body and their mind and their spirit right? We are always thinking like process and material and all these things.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, dude, like you said, it's not just veterans. It's your police officers, your firefighters, your paramedics. They see these things. They see things all the time too. They're just like us. I mean, but they see it as a civilian factor. But I mean, when you got a cop going outside and he don't know if he's gonna make it home that night. I mean, they live that life. That's that high adrenaline, right? That high adrenaline. Like, hopefully I make it home tonight. Hopefully I make it home tomorrow. You know, and it's like you said, that's always that high adrenaline, always going. You know, and trying to figure out what, like, how do I function, dude? Like, I mean, that's a lot of things. A lot of you guys, like I said, my show is about natural healing, natural remedies, figuring out how to use natural medicine out there to help treat the things we done with. Like Pearce is saying, his coaching is about breathworks, psilocybin, cannabis, CBD, learning how these help. Because I know right now, so me, like I said, that's one of the things I've been looking into, is the psilocybin, because the medicinal studies that have came out, the research that has been done on psilocybin and how it helps regenerate the brain from the things that we suffer from, you know, whether it's PTS or TBI or depression, anxiety, and all that other crap. That's one of the things that you said that you've looked into as well. Is that correct? The psychedelics?
Yeah, psychedelic medicine has been the most powerful thing I've ever seen in radically transforming people's lives. When you talk about the opioid issue, right? People dying from opioids. There's a plant that's native to Africa called Iboga, right? And what's crazy is all of this stuff is completely natural, pulled straight out of the ground, right? And it's illegal, right? So right. But so Iboga. And then there's a derivative of that called Ibogaine that people are using. And there's a couple groups that are using this with veterans. It's something I went through as well. Ibogaine stops the addiction cycle immediately. So you can go from a heroin, alcohol, opioid addict to no longer an addict in hours. Oh, right? Wow. Completely cuts off the cycle, and people no longer have the addictive behaviors. They no longer have the cravings. They've gone through an experience where they're starting to understand why they have those behaviors and what they need to do. They're coming up with their own ideas of, okay, what do I need to do to stay clean and change my life? Right. And so if there's something that works so incredibly well and effective, why are we not able to use it? Why do we just continue to drug people?
It's because they can't make no money off of it. You guys, I'm telling no. I don't want to get with Pearce, get on this political platform, right? We don't talk about this because, I mean, honestly, if you think about the doctors that are in the U.S. that are here to help us, right? They're here to help us, quotations, help us. If they help us, then they don't get paid no more. If they treat us from our ailments and our addictions and stuff like that, they don't get paid no more, dude. And that's one of the biggest struggles that we talk about. That's why I use this platform, the STONED VET USMC. A lot of people don't like it because it's called the STONED VET. People don't like the word stoned. I tell people that my duty on this platform is to help break the stigma on natural remedies, natural cannabis. Do I like to be stoned? Yeah. I like the head shift. My wife, on the other hand, she don't like the head shift, but she likes the natural remedies that she gets from cannabis. But she don't prefer a head shift, you know. But for me, I prefer a head shift and the treatment of what cannabis can do. And like you're saying, this thing here will help fight addictions, which is one of the biggest struggles we have in this country is addiction.
Yeah. So if you're out there and you're struggling with opioid addiction or anything else like that, reach out to me and I'll get you connected with people that are doing this treatment. You know, and it's unfortunate that we have to go outside of the country to do so, but there's relatively easy ways to do that, and people should not be afraid. And then there are so many other plant medicines that can help. There are so many cannabinoids that can help. Psilocybin from mushrooms is another incredible one, especially on the brain inflammation, right? If you are a demolitions expert and you're around a lot of blast trauma, right? If you are in constant stress and you need to rewire that brain, if you have any sort of issues from childhood or your past that need processing, right? Going through these ways properly, I don't mean getting a bunch of this stuff and doing it on your own, going through with a guide who's doing a guided session and then teaching and follow up afterwards can be radically life-changing, and I have seen it over and over again.
No, and absolutely. And you guys that have been listening to the show, you guys have been knowing how much I've been advocating for psilocybin, how just the research, there's actually research that's been done on it, as opposed to the cannabis plant that the U.S. government has 2 U.S. patents on. Psilocybin has actually had research done on it and showing the mental health growth in the brain from the psilocybin, how it helps rewire your brain how it's supposed to be. Right?
Psilocybin and MDMA are right now in, I think, phase 2 and phase 3 trials with the FDA to eventually be legal for therapeutic use, which is pretty awesome.
Which is awesome, right? And we need to get that with the cannabis, and we're working on it. You know what I'm saying? My brother, Brian Buckley's close to you. He's down in San Diego area. He's down there with Hellman Valley Grow Company, and he's got his multi-million-dollar research project going on cannabis right now, and he's actually doing it to where he's showing the trial effects, the trial. He's doing a trial study on it right now, and then his goal is to eventually be able to tell you what strain will help for anxiety, which strain will help for depression, which strain will help you sleep, and everything like that. He's got a huge, massive research project going on down there, which is great, you know what I'm saying? But this is the type of studies that need to be done on the cannabis plant as well, so that people can say, well, the FDA is approving it. Not that the FDA approval means really anything, but I mean, if the government says this is what's going to help, then I mean, I guess we got to go through the proper protocols with the FDA and everything like that, because we already know the FDA will approve shit, and the next thing you know, if you're suffering from some ailment from whatever you was taking, you may be entitled to $250,000 settlement that was done, you know. And so with your company, with what you're doing now, Pearce, you are advocating for natural remedies as well as the treatments that you are training people, you're teaching people to do. Is that right?
Yeah. So I call it integration, right? I mean, you can do it with plant medicines or you can do it without, but it's this entire process of optimizing yourself so you get back to sort of your true nature, your highest performing nature. And I like to use plant medicines with certain people as we can. And then it's all about gaining the insights that you got from those sessions and how do I integrate them into my daily life to make a permanent positive change.
No, absolutely. And you guys that are listening to the show, man, like I tell you guys, when you guys are listening, this is what I try to do is bring our brothers or our sisters, whoever wants to come on my show, to help you guys figure out, how do I live in this crazy ass life? How do we live and function in this life that we're living now outside of the military? After serving our country, what do I do now? How do I live in this life? You know, and that's one of the biggest struggles we have. Like, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I don't know how. I don't know what I can get into. I don't know what I can do. Or I'm dealing with PTS. I'm dealing with freaking anxiety. I'm dealing with depression every freaking day. How do I treat myself? How do I go and find remedies to help me with what I'm doing? And this is why I love being able to bring advocates on like Pearce here. Pearce here, he believes in the natural remedies that are out there. Like he told you guys, there's a plant. There's a plant out there that'll help you fight addiction if you're struggling with alcohol addiction, opioid addiction, whatever the case may be. And like he said, reach out to him. Reach out to him to get that information so you can figure out and do your research. Like I tell you guys, I do my research, but I tell you guys, go and do your own research so you can feel confident in making the right decisions, right? Don't be like MSM and listen to whatever they tell you and believe what they're telling you without doing your own research, you know? So like I tell you guys about the endocannabinoid systems. If you go to nih.gov, it'll tell you everything about the endocannabinoid system that we have. We have an endocannabinoid system, and we treat it by taking cannabinoids, right? And Pearce, like I said, what he's doing, he's teaching people about cannabinoids, right?
Yeah, there's a ton of different uses for them. You know, whether you want to be using THC or not, there's CBD. I was working with a company called Blue Harvest on something called CBN, which is really powerful for sleep.
That's what I used last night to sleep. I have to use it to sleep.
Entire system in the body is there, right? We just have to do the research, and you know, we should be looking for natural plant remedies for things, right? Just like you want to get, you know, natural food, right? What you become what you eat, right?
Right.
Food can be an incredible medicine. A lot of us have terrible eating habits, especially coming out of the military,
right?
And then just using things that work with your body instead of numbing your body. Right. This is the best way to explain that. Sort of the process that I go after is you can't put a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. You have to stop the bleed. Everything that is typically given for a lot of the ailments or whatever that people experience is just a Band-Aid. It's never going in and stopping the bleeding. So that's what I try to do is give natural Band-Aids that aren't going to mess with you and then go in deep and stop the bleed.
Right, absolutely. And like you said, with one of the biggest things is the diet, right? That's what is one of the things you teach people, how to diet, how to actually eat better. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And I mean, diet is massive, and you can see it. I see so many people that are completely addicted to foods, or their bodies aren't functioning correctly. And a lot of the issue is, let's say you go to a massage, right? You come out of the military, you've been wearing a ruck on your back for years. Somebody fixes your back and you go, holy shit, I forgot how good this feels. How do I maintain this?
Right.
Right. This happens with how your brain feels after using plant medicine, or how your body and your mind feels after using proper nutrition. You're like, wow, I forgot that I could feel this way. I forgot that I could have this sort of energy. And then the process is, okay, here's how you maintain this. Right? But a lot of us just forget. A lot of us just think that the way that things are right now is normal, and it doesn't have to be that way.
Right. And so, and it's true. It's like you said, I mean, when you're carrying that ruck and you're just freaking humping everywhere and you just got all this weight on your shoulders. I mean, we carry a lot of weight on our shoulders. We do, a lot of us. Like you said, I'm currently working out again. I got myself back in the gym after 3 years. I got in a horrible accident and I just didn't want to ruin my back because this little girl decided that my back didn't mean anything and decided it took me 10 years to get my back strong enough to lift again. And then she rear-ended me doing 50 while I was at a dead stop. And then it just screwed my back up completely. So I was like, fuck, it's going to take me forever just to get the strength back in my back to lift again. So like you said, I'm going back to the gym. But again, I mean, like you said, going to the gym is one of those things a lot of us use it to cover up shit. So we don't have to deal with it. We can just get in there and we just fucking go work out and not think about what the fuck's wrong with us. Think about our problems, And one of the things is, right, we do need to take time and meditate. We need to take time and think about our actions and how we can treat what's fucked up with us, what's wrong with us, how to treat it, and with your coach and what you're providing. I mean, that's awesome, because a lot of us need to know how, because a lot of us don't know how, like you said, with diet, with exercise, with meditation, with breath work, with taking breaths and understanding what we're doing, what we're dealing with. Like I said, Chris, I think you and Chris will be awesome together. You and Chris, what Chris is doing, I think you guys could be freaking amazing, dude. Another Jari, like I said, he's into all that. He just got back from Peru not too long ago and went on this amazing journey, hiking through the mountains, meditating and just doing all that stuff, dude. Like, he's got his mind right. But I mean, there's not a lot of us service members. You understand, you being a service member, you brand new, you straight out, you just got out. But what's great is that you were able to find yourself and not freaking sit and meditate and think about all the things that went bad. Instead, you went and said, hey, I got to fix what's wrong with me so I can help those to get the shit that's wrong with them fixed as well, right?
Yeah. And luckily I had, people who helped me down that path. And I really think that it's powerful to have this come from other veterans, right? Come from a familiar face. That's why it's been so powerful. That's why it was powerful for me.
Absolutely, Show. Absolutely. I mean, showing people how to do this and how to treat each other. I mean, that's what we need. We need medicine. We need good medicine. We need to understand diet. Like you said, we like to eat crap. We'll always go get a fucking burger and fries or just eat shit out of a truck or whatever the case may be, and not actually sit down and make a wholesome meal. You get your chicken, your lean beef, and just have good stuff, good sides and plant medicine, right? Plant medicine. If you eat good food, I mean, regardless if you like meat or if you're just a freaking vegetarian, whatever you like to eat, making sure that it's good medicine for your body so your body can digest it and get an understanding to treat yourself and take care of yourself better,
Yeah, food and movement can be amazing medicine. And then, when you're going to the gym and if you're recognizing that you're using it as an escape, go into it with a different intent. Analyze yourself, analyze your mind, right? Analyze your life. Okay, am I neglecting things? Am I judging things? All right, how do I utilize this during my exercise to create a constant reminder of the things that I have to do to be better?
No, absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Well, hell, Pearce, we're getting close to the end of the show, man. Tell people a little bit about your business and tell people how they can reach you and how they can get in contact with you.
Yeah, so right now I do performance coaching, and I do this on kind of a one-on-one basis. I will be in the future looking to go into groups and having groups for veterans and first responders and being able to bring in funding to help fund some of their experiences. But right now, the easiest way to reach me is Instagram or email. Instagram is at Pearce, PEARCE_C2, or Pearce, PEARCE at built2evolve.com, all spelt out. Would love people to hit me up. Happy to chat with you. Happy to try to point you in the right direction, whether that's with me, with somebody else, or another organization. I'm really here just to help as many people as I can, because I know there's a ton out there, and the only people that are going to help us is us.
Absolutely, brother. That's what I always say. Like I tell you guys, I'm going to put all his information in the description down below if you're on YouTube, or wherever you listen to this show, it'll be in the description box, however they put it. Like I said, if I'm on iTunes and you're listening on iTunes, give me that 5-star review, dude, so I can hit that algorithm. Because like I said, the more people we get to listen to the show, the more this goes out to everybody that doesn't know that I exist still, And so for you guys, like I said, I've got over 22,000 views on YouTube, or 2,200 views on YouTube, and I still don't have 2,200 subscribers. Tell me why that is. I don't know. Just hit that subscribe button, man. Hit that subscribe button so everybody can see this, right? And like I said, man, this is what it's about. It's about helping each other, finding our brothers and sisters that are out there doing amazing things in our community. Pearce is part of the family now, man. He's here. I got him on speed dial now. I got his number directly. I got him on speed dial, man. So if I'm ever out in the California area, I'm gonna hit him up and say, "Hey, dude, let's go surfing or do something." I can't get on my surfboard, but I'll figure it out. Let's go on a mountain ride or something. And so, but this is what it's about: is taking care of each other, helping each other find our remedies. How do we treat the shit that we suffer from on a daily basis, while it's childhood trauma, PTS, TBI, anxiety, depression, aches and pains? What are we doing to help treat ourselves, get out of that funk that we're in? Because are you real high functioning adrenaline junkie, or are you real down low in the depression stage where you just want to sit back and watch Netflix all day? We have to find that function, that middle function, where we can socialize and interact with other people that aren't veterans and figure out this life and how to work together, right? Like I said, man, like I tell you guys every episode, man, you guys are important to us. If you listen to this show, you're important to me. There's only one you, and there's only you that can provide your service to me to help me get out of my funk, man. Don't ever think you're alone. Don't ever think you're by yourself. We are always here for you. That's why my tag out line is, at the Stone Vet, we got your six. I love you guys. Come hang out again every Friday, every Wednesday. Check out my shows, dude. I'm here to help you guys. If you guys got any questions, always reach out to me. You guys know how to reach out to me at STONED VET USMC, the StoneVet420@gmail.com. Reach out to me. You got any questions, any concerns? I'll have everything in the description box on how you can reach out to us, man. Remember, guys, we need you, and you're important to us, and you're important to this country, man. Remember, hit the Stone Vet. We got your six.
Overcome, I make the best out of situations. I stay alert for my enemies trying to do me some harm. I fight for your freedom of speech and your right to bear arms. When I say I got your six, that means I got your back. But what else would you expect coming from the Stone Vet? 1, 2, 3.